We're looking at Broadcom's valuation through EPS, and the key thing to understand is this. The stock price does not move only with earnings, it also moves based on the multiple investors are willing to pay for those earnings. If we start with the past, Broadcom has done several things extremely well. The company built a very strong business model by combining a high-quality semiconductor segment, strong cash flow generation, and disciplined capital allocation. On top of that, Broadcom expanded into infrastructure software, including VMware, which helped diversify revenue sources and strengthen the long-term story. That is one of the reasons why the market often values Broadcom at a premium compared to a more typical cyclical semiconductor company. But there is also an important lesson from the past, and this is often more of an investor mistake than a company mistake. When the narrative becomes very strong, the market can price in too much future growth too early. In those moments, even excellent results may not be enough because a lot of the upside is already reflected in the stock price. With Broadcom, we can see this especially during periods of AI enthusiasm, when valuation multiples expand very quickly. Now let's move to the present. Broadcom is currently being priced as a company with very high expectations. The market is not just rewarding current earnings, it is also pricing in future AI-related growth, continued execution, and confidence in management's ability to integrate acquisitions and maintain strong cash generation. That creates a powerful setup, but also a more demanding one. When expectations are elevated, the company has less room for disappointment. This is why valuation matters so much on this slide. If the stock trades significantly above the fair value line, the investment return may depend less on business quality, which is still strong, and more on whether the market keeps assigning a high multiple. In other words, the stock can become more sensitive to sentiment, guidance, and margin expectations than many investors realize. And that brings us to the future. Broadcom's future upside is not only about revenue growth, it is about the quality of that growth. Investors will be watching whether AI-driven demand remains strong, whether margins stay healthy, and whether earnings and cash flow continue to scale in a durable way. If Broadcom keeps delivering strong EPS growth and supports it with cash flow and disciplined execution, today's valuation can be justified. But if growth slows, margins compress, or expectations prove too optimistic, the stock could re-rate even if the business itself remains solid. So the valuation story here is very clear. The past shows Broadcom is a proven value creator. The present shows a stock with high expectations already priced in. And the future depends on whether AI growth translates into sustainable earnings power, not just excitement. So for Broadcom, the main question is not simply, can the company grow? The real question is, does the current price leave enough margin of safety if expectations are too high? Let's go straight into the risks, because with Broadcom, the key question is not whether the company is high quality. It is. The real question is whether future growth, margins, and valuation expectations can all hold up at the same time. The biggest risk in 2026 is AI demand concentration and customer spending volatility. Broadcom is benefiting from strong AI-related demand, especially in custom silicon and networking. But when a large part of the growth story depends on a relatively concentrated set of hyperscale customers, the stock becomes more sensitive to CapEx timing, project delays, and spending cycles. If even one major customer slows deployments, sentiment can change quickly. Closely linked to that is valuation compression risk. Broadcom is often priced as a premium compounder, and during AI enthusiasm, the market can price in aggressive assumptions. That means even if the company continues to grow, the stock can still underperform if the valuation multiple contracts. In other words, strong business execution does not always guarantee strong stock returns when expectations are already high. Another important risk is margin pressure from product mix. Revenue growth alone is not enough. Investors also care about the quality of that growth. If AI growth comes with a less favorable mix, more pricing competition, or lower incremental margins than expected, the market may reassess how much it is willing to pay for that growth. Then there is VMware integration and enterprise customer retention risk. Broadcom's software strategy can create long-term value, but large integrations always carry execution risk. Pricing changes, product bundling, or customer migration decisions can create friction, and enterprise customers may take time to adjust. If integration benefits are slower than expected, the software thesis may not support the valuation as strongly. We also need to remember semiconductor cyclicality outside AI. Broadcom has strong exposure to attractive markets, but not every segment moves in a straight line. Weakness in enterprise spending, telecom, or industrial demand can offset strength in AI and create uneven results. On top of that, geopolitical and export control risk remains a structural issue for global semiconductor companies. Trade restrictions, policy changes, or supply chain disruptions can affect demand visibility and investor confidence. And finally, there is balance sheet and capital allocation risk. Broadcom has a history of strong execution, but after major acquisitions, debt levels and refinancing conditions matter. If capital becomes more expensive or integration returns disappoint, financial flexibility becomes more important. Broadcom's 2026 risks are not mainly about business quality collapsing, they are about expectations. AI demand durability, margin quality, integration execution, and whether the valuation leaves enough room for mistakes. Now let's move to the opportunity side, because with Broadcom, this is not just a semiconductor growth story. It's increasingly a platform, cash flow, and capital allocation story. In the short term, the biggest opportunity is clearly AI infrastructure demand, especially in networking and custom silicon. Broadcom is positioned in parts of the AI stack that matter for scale, not only compute-adjacent chips, but also the connectivity and data movement required inside large AI clusters. If hyperscalers continue expanding AI capex, Broadcom can benefit not just from volume growth, but from deeper strategic relevance in customer roadmaps. The second major short-term opportunity is higher AI revenue mix. If AI-related revenue becomes a larger portion of total sales, investors may continue to view Broadcom as a premium infrastructure enabler rather than a traditional cyclical chip name. That matters because it can support both earnings growth and valuation resilience, assuming execution remains strong. Third, there is the VMware monetization opportunity. Broadcom's strategy is not just about owning software assets. It's about improving monetization through pricing discipline, bundling, and focusing on higher-value enterprise customers. If management executes well, VMware can become a stronger recurring cash flow engine and reduce reliance on purely semiconductor cycles. Another short-term upside driver is operating leverage. Broadcom already has strong margins, but when revenue scales in the right segments and cost discipline holds, operating profit and free cash flow can grow faster than revenue. That creates a powerful setup for shareholder returns. And that leads to the fifth short-term opportunity, free cash flow deployment. Broadcom has a long history of using cash generation for dividends, buybacks, and disciplined capital allocation. If FCF remains strong, investors may continue rewarding the company for both growth and shareholder returns at the same time. Now on the long-term side, the biggest opportunity is Broadcom evolving into a more complete AI infrastructure platform leader, spanning critical semiconductor components, networking, and infrastructure software. If AI workloads continue scaling over many years, Broadcom could benefit from a durable demand tailwind that goes beyond a single product cycle. Another major long-term opportunity is deeper hyperscaler partnerships. In custom silicon, the upside is not just one generation of chips, it's the roadmap. If Broadcom becomes more embedded in long-term customer architectures that can create repeat business, higher switching costs, and stronger visibility, then there's the VMware integration upside over time. If Broadcom stabilizes the customer base, improves product monetization, and integrates software assets effectively, the result could be a more predictable recurring earnings stream that complements the hardware business. Finally, Broadcom's long-term upside is amplified by capital allocation compounding. If management keeps combining strong execution with disciplined M&A, dividend growth, and repurchases, shareholder value can compound even in periods when the valuation multiple does not expand. So the upside framework for Broadcom is clear. Scale AI infrastructure exposure, monetize software better, protect margins, and let free cash flow compound through disciplined execution. The rating breakdown is very bullish. 8 strong buy, 40 buy, 2 hold, and no sell or strong sell ratings. That tells us one clear thing. Wall Street broadly agrees that Broadcom is a high-quality company with strong positioning, especially around AI infrastructure and cash flow generation. But there is an important nuance here. When analyst sentiment is this positive, it often means a lot of the good news is already well understood by the market. In other words, bullish ratings do not automatically mean the stock is cheap. They often reflect confidence in the business, not necessarily a large margin of safety in the current price. So the key takeaway is this. Analyst sentiment strongly supports the quality and execution story, but investors still need to watch valuation, expectations, and future guidance, because with a stock like Broadcom, performance can depend just as much on beating high expectations as on simply delivering growth.